Pledge allegiance to the flag. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Bill?
Yes.
Betty? Yes. John?
Yes.
Chris?
Here.
Hank?
Here.
Okay, approval prior meeting minutes.
Make that motion.
Motion by Sean. Betty, second. Any discussion? Okay, if there's no discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed.
Carried.
Abstain because I haven't read them.
Excuse me?
Abstain because I haven't read them.
Oh, okay. All right, we'll get right to the committee reports. Highway superintendent?
Well, since last month, there's been small repairs and maintenance on vehicles. We're continuing to mow the second pass and cutting trees and brush. Cold patch some of the roads that needed it, repairing shoulders. And South Con and Saltzman Road were paved Monday by Hanson. So I'll give them a few days to cool down. Next week we'll shoulder them.
They did it all in one day?
They worked late.
Great.
They're so far behind, they figured they had time to do it.
No, that's great for us.
Okay, equipment discussion. This has kind of been ongoing between an excavator and grade all, that particular discussion. Have we made any headway there?
I've asked a couple other ones to bring us machines to try, and nobody showed anything up with anything yet.
Okay. Sean had something to say about a $50,000 grade all that I thought was pretty interesting. Quite a bit newer machine than we have that you found down south.
Yeah.
Sean, you want to fill me in on your thoughts
Well,
on?
my thoughts is, I mean, I don't know a whole lot about it, just what you, picture you showed me. I mean, obviously, pictures can be deceiving. Have you heard anything more about it, as far
I
as
didn't
mechanical wise,
contact
or?
anybody on it, no.
That's step one.
But if it's a machine that's in the south, it's never seen salt, and it's never seen a rock in Florida, because there aren't any rocks in Florida. So,
No, it looks like a nice machine. I mean,
the pictures does look pretty clean. Got, I think it had 1,700 hours on it. And the price on the internet was $52,500 or something like that.
which is actually cheap for a low hour machine like that.
I thought so compared to some of the other ones that were on there.
And there'd be a few questions I'd ask about it, just because it's the same year as our grade one. And I know what issues we've had with that.
Do you know what year it is?
It's an 05, I think.
Yeah.
What we got now is a 97. About almost 8,000 hours now.
You had indicated to me that there are a lot of electrical relays on some particular years of those grade alls
Yeah,
that you feel might be problematic for us to own
It's
on
not,
a long-term basis?
it's not problematic, it's just the reaction time for digging. That style machine there, that year, they put 14 processors in them, so it's all electric over hydraulic, and the response time ain't there. And newer ones, it went down to 7 processors, so it's a little bit more faster reaction time for digging wise. That's about it. The only other issue that I often might have a problem with is if it was either standard or automatic. You didn't know if it was a standard.
Standard.
It was, all right, then. The automatics had issues with the drive pumps. If they were remoted a lot going up and down the road, then it burns out the drive pump on a transmission on a travel side. But with that being a standard, should have no problem with it.
Like I say, I don't know much about it. I just Googled them one day and that one appeared. And looked like a nice machine, that's all I can say. I didn't call the dealer, didn't find any particulars, don't know enough about it other than pictures on the internet.
Is it a dealer or is it a?
It's not a great all dealer, but it's an equipment dealer.
Yeah.
Where is it?
Florida. But it is a four-wheel drive unit. New one's 380,000. Approximately. Give or take a few thousand. And I can't see buying a new one. That one there came to the town used. That wasn't a bought new.
It's, the consensus here, or isn't there one? We looked at a modified excavator, really. You tried a couple of them out. And we're looking at how much there? 215 or?
Probably, yeah.
It's a far cry, 215 versus 52. But they're two different styles of machine. Which would you prefer in the highway department?
Well, if the great all is not gonna be used for mowing brush, which the excavator could be used for mowing brush. You know, they're two separate machines, so it is, you're not gonna do all your digging with an excavator. I mean, there are towns that are doing it, but
The great all is quite a bit heavier and has a longer reach, right?
all the same.
Are they the same?
There's six-wheeler they are.
All right, you put a heavy load in a ditching bucket, out 25 feet. The excavator pull that the same as the great all?
It's supposed to. According to the specs, they're supposed to lift, same thing great all does at full boom.
You didn't try digging with it then?
What's that? The
With
excavator?
the excavator you
Yeah, I
tried
did in
out?
the sand pile at the town barn, I didn't, really had it for a day. We didn't take it, we tried to flail head onto it, and I dug with it in the sand pile for a while, just to see how it worked.
Would you like to continue to try more machines, or would you like to take a trip to Florida? You know, go buy sight unseen, right?
I wouldn't.
I mean, that's just a no-no. And 52 seems awful cheap to me. My experience has always been that, you know, them bargains.
I ain't spending 50,000 of my money without looking at something, I ain't spending town money without looking at it.
Oh. So you know, we have to decide if that is a possibility for us to buy, and if so, I just as soon see both of you guys go to Florida. It's a little dicey right now, but
I mean, we probably ought to find out if it's still available, I mean, I saw it a few weeks ago, it may be gone, you never know.
Well, I guess, I would say make a phone call tomorrow and see if it's still there.
I'll do that, get some particulars onto it, ask some questions. But I didn't pursue it, because I didn't know which way I didn't know which way the board wanted to go, what was gonna happen.
That thing only come up on a flatbed for a couple thousand.
Yeah, they could put it on a trailer and take the tires off to get it down low enough, pretty sure. I don't know what it's gonna cost, I've never had a price to it, but
Actually, a regular low boy trailer, you don't need to take tires off.
you don't,
Nope.
I don't know how high they are.
Nope.
well, that's an interesting discussion, but the first discussion here is which style of machine is preferred. Do we have a preference yet, or should we try out more machines here?
Well, the Great All has served the town well for many, many years, so I don't think we're gonna be able to be without a Great All. I mean, we've got by forever without an excavator.
Yeah. So what you're saying is, if we were to buy an excavator, you'd want to keep the grade on?
Oh, yeah. I mean, if we're gonna buy one or the other right now, I say right now, you're better off replacing the Great All with another Great All.
Sean, you work with both. What's your opinion on this?
Well, in our case with the town, I think we should just stay with a great all. Great all would be more useful.
Any other board members have a opinion of some kind on this deal?
Well, if we buy a tractor with a flail mower, we're talking what? 75?
What kind of flail, an A-arm?
Yeah.
135.
Okay, 135. Thank you. Okay. I'm thinking, New Holland.
I'm just going by what the neighbor tells me.
Okay, that's fine. So here we are, if we buy a rubber tire excavator, let's say it's between 175 and 200. Because that's what I've seen a few prices come in around there. Then we have the A-arm mower covered, and then we have a trencher and a digger and some versatile, because you have a knuckle arm, you can turn around, it's much easier to work in the highway than the great all and do some different things. And, so it seems to me that we would be in better condition to go that way, because then we have a piece of equipment that covers two things without us having to go buy a cab mower with an A-arm, which I think you've discussed at some point you'd like to have, considering what we're using. So I would hate to go and spend almost 200,000 and then buy a used great all when the other piece of equipment would cover most of all of that and then some. I think that the excavators are just so much more versatile for us. But again, I know you haven't had a chance to work with all of them and really make some decisions, but maybe if we put a serious bid out there and see what it is, and then we'd really know what we're comparing apples to oranges. That's just my way. How much was the one that they brought to you, Sean, to the county?
The problem with the excavators is there's so much variance into them that to put a bid spec out, you're gonna pretty much come down to one machine.
Well, I know, which is good for you because it gives you your preference, right? If you want everything that you want on it, and only one company fits that bill, well, so be it, Because you guys have to live with that piece of equipment, and if you're going to get it, it better do everything that you want to do with it. What was the one that they brought you?
It was a Whacker Newsom.
Did you like it, or?
So far we like it, but it was also used.
Okay.
We bought it used.
Okay. Did you get an A-arm? That one doesn't come with an A-arm flail, right?
Yeah, we got,
Oh.
well, actually, it's not the A-arm flail, it's not a flail mower, it's a forestry head.
Oh.
So it won't, it'll take down, sumac and stuff like that, but as far as trying to get into the grass with it, it won't do it.
Okay, gotcha. So it's really for more like when you're in intense, like that intense sumac up the hillside and everything? Okay. And what did you guys pay?
All total, 170,000, but like I said, it's a used machine.
I understand. I'm just, okay.
If you get a brand new one, and by the time you get the forestry head alone was 10 grand.
Okay.
That was 10 grand alone,
And you got two buckets, right?
2 buckets. But in their case, if you're eliminating a grade all, you're gonna need the bucket with the twister wrist on it.
Right.
So it's got a 45 degree angle either.
And I know that's a big upgrade in dollars.
Yes.
10 or 20 grand, I think.
But, now look on the other side of the fence, if he's got a guy out ditching with it in the summertime, now you're taking away from mowing the roads in the summertime. And obviously, we're under contract with the county to keeping the roads mowed.
True, but the excavator actually will move faster than either one of our Fords we have.
I hate to muddy the water here, but that's the next discussion on equipment in the highway department. Our mowers are about wore out, and we're really going to be under mandate very shortly to have a full cab on the mowing machines. And there's going to be no avoiding it. We should do it as soon as possible. The state sends guys out with spacesuits, and we're sending guys out on an open tractor, and they're coming back with bee bites and rashes. It's a lot of trouble. We got to deal with that too.
I think before we make a purchase on one piece or go down and look at one piece of used equipment, which I'm not saying it could be a great deal, it could not be. We need to put together a priority list of what we need to get, and then how equipped, and then look at dollars. as close as we can, even though everything will go out for bid. Or we can get it on state contract, or we can get a piggyback it from someone else. Like, didn't Root buy a New Holland with an A-arm?
They got John Deere.
Oh, they got John Deere with an A-arm. I saw it the other day. I said, that was a pretty nice rig. And that one was 135?
For a
So-
mowing machine.
That you're only gonna mow with.
Right, I understand. I'm just saying that.
That's what I'm saying here, you know, we're looking at a 5-year plan, and we're looking at immediate needs. The mowing and grade all function in this town. The grade all is wore out. The mowing machine are mostly wore out and outdated by their very nature. We have to have equipment with cabs.
Well, in 30 days, we won't need the mowers anymore. We'll be done, right? There will be nothing to cut.
Till spring, right.
Till spring, and then, so that gives us some room to really think about what we want to do. And we have been discussing grade oil versus rubber tire excavator since about February, so maybe we can,
We gotta make a move.
I think we need Artie's best recommendation before we,
That's where we are.
he's got to, you and the guys have to live with that piece of equipment for the next 15 years plus, so.
Well, like I said, I don't wanna be without a grade all, so if we buy a rubber tired excavator, I don't wanna sell the grade all, we're gonna keep putting money in it and try keeping it going.
Well, I wouldn't want you to sell the grade oil, because we get, what, $9,000-10,000 for the thing?
You wouldn't give 5 for it.
Okay, so we keep it, and we keep it on life support as long as we can, but we got the other machine that pretty much does everything and then some.
The problem is that you're putting good money in bad equipment that.
The
we've done
last
it.
bill for repairs, just the parts were $2,500.
Right, so you're putting more money in the machine than it's worth, and it's to the point where,
And right,
how long you wanna do that?
and right now you got electrical issue.
We got an electrical issue. with it.
Every time we take it out of the barn, we got a problem.
We got an oil issue right now too, so.
And that's a machine that if we have flooding or we have maintenance on back roads, a lot of times you need it.
Right now,
The only-
the timing cover's cracked on the front of the motor right now, so we're waiting to get that in the garage and pull that apart. So.
So what you fellows are saying is pretty much narrowed it down to a grade all decision here then, right?
And that's what I'm thinking.
I mean, I just happened to find that one by luck. I mean, there may be other ones out there. I mean, that one website had 15 of them, but, you know, most of them were, if they had low hours, they were 100,000 to 200,000 bucks for low hour machines. This was only 52. I wanna know why.
Something going on there.
That's what I'm saying, you know.
And then when he mentioned all the circuit breakers and electrical problems with a couple years
I
of
don't
grade
know
all.
about the new ones. All I know is about the one we got. So, the newer ones, I don't know.
Well, the county has bought newer ones, and he's experienced some of that
Right.
stuff. So if we can get you guys together and maybe identify what years to stay away from even, and look for used stuff. But we gotta get going. We gotta make a decision on this digging equipment and get it behind us.
I say first thing first, tomorrow morning, make a phone call,
Yeah.
start inquiring some questions.
How many sites have you checked?
It was just that one site. I Googled grade all 3100 four-wheel
Well,
drive for sale.
because of other things the town has going on here, I'm suggesting an early September meeting, maybe the 12th or the 15th. Could you fellas do your shopping, maybe locate some used?
We have to do the 12th, that's a Thursday, that's court night.
Okay, we gotta do
Gotta
it
be at a
Wednesday night. That'd be the
Wednesday.
11th.
Yep. Yep.
Okay? We'll come back to that. My question is if you fellas can come up with some viable alternatives for us other than a brand new machine.
I'll look into it. That's what you want to do. So I was kind of leaning towards the wheeled excavator and trying to keep ours going. But like I said, just we got it going again, and then now the timing cover's cracked. So now we got to pull the whole front of the motor apart to take the timing cover off.
Ever since I've been in office, you've told me the thing is broke. And it's the most valuable equipment you have in the barn, the one that's used the most. Now, there comes a point in time, you know, we have highway employees to work on highways. it's great that we can extend the life of the equipment, but we have to identify the time when it's no longer viable to extend the life, renew. It takes away from the highway work.
Right.
Okay, so you fellas are gonna come up with
Yep,
something?
and I'll get some more solid
Work
numbers on
together?
wheel excavators too by then. With the ones we tried, JCB was a real nice machine.
Oh, you only tried the two, right? The Whacker News and the
Yep, and,
JCB?
the dealer that sells the one that Freida has was at the town barn the other day. He's gonna set up a thing with Alan, we go and try his.
What is theirs?
Hyundai, I think.
What?
A Hyundai or a
Hyundai?
Hyundai.
Hyundai?
Montano sells it. Not sure.
Yeah, it's probably a Hyundai. But that had that rotary head on it, didn't it?
They bought a brush head too,
Yeah.
not a mown head.
How long have they had it?
Less than a year. But they kept their grade all too. They bought the wheeled excavator and they still got their grade all. Their grade all is a lot newer than ours.
Is there an actual great or is it a Badger?
They got a grade all,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, so by September 11th, we're going to be checking out the grade all deal. It doesn't
Yep.
hurt either to get a price on new, so you know what new is. You never know, maybe there's some bargains out there on new. And a lot of times when that stuff fluctuates a little bit, that's like the automotive industry, when the new cars go on the cheap at the end of the year, the used cars.
Oh, I asked the last time I talked to the dealer, the local dealer, I told him if you ever come across a used one, let me know. He called me a couple times, but they're used, they got 5,000-6,000 hours on them. I said, I don't wanna use them with 5,000 or 6,000 hours on it. It's already on the way down.
What do you two deem as reasonable hours for us to get?
I would say like that one.
I'd say under 2,000,
Yep.
Under 2,000 hours is what you prefer, huh?
so I'd say.
Okay. Now, to the mowing equipment. We have to have requests from department heads by September 20th to go into the new budget. That's the state mandated date. So by September 20th, we should have a rough idea of what kind of equipment and much is going into next year's budget. In that discussion is going to be the plowing and salting arrangement with the two villages. We've come up with more numbers and frankly, I'm confused between the 2018 budget and the 2019 budget. And the numbers are vastly different.